Welcome to the Mom Self-Care Podcast, your safe space to finally focus on YOU. I'm Twitty-Hawkins, your self-care coach for moms, praying wife, and mom of four. And I know that being a Christ-centered mom is such a beautiful calling, but it can be so draining. That's why it's important to make sure you are filling your own cup. On this podcast, we'll discuss practical, holistic self-care strategies to help nurture your mind, body, and spirit. Because a mama who fills her own cup pours that back into her family with true peace and joy. Tune in for honest conversations about motherhood and self-care because you matter too. Blessings, mamas, and welcome to the Mom Self-Care Podcast. I'm Twitty-Hawkins, your host and self-care coach for moms. And today I want to talk about, well, let's just say the last episode. If you listened, if you didn't, go back and check it out. I was talking about how self-care isn't always soft, how sometimes it's about you standing up for yourself. Sometimes it's about you doing something when you're afraid, something you've been putting off. And so tonight, I want to talk about the opposite, about sometimes, hey, you need to learn how to slow down, how to relax, how to know when, okay, is this the time that I need to say no? Because I haven't been feeling my best lately. But I was like, oh my gosh, of course, mamas, we got to show up, we got to do our thing. And we got school coming up starting. So, meet the teacher and make sure we have all the school supplies and all the things. And my son had Taekwondo practice. And I was like, okay, sometimes I go in there and watch. Sometimes I stay in the car if I have work to do or if I'm not feeling my best. So, of course, I was like, I'm going to sit in the car. But then I was like, wait, I need to go to HEB. I need to run and go get this. And then I'll be back right on time. And then I was like, Cherry, no. Because y'all know a lot of times we think about, okay, all the things we can get done in a small amount of time. But is it really worth you doing that if it's going to cause you stress and overwhelm? And like I was in the headspace of, you're already feeling sick. So I said, no, Cherry, sit your tail down in his car. And I just read something and relaxed while he had fun practicing Taekwondo. And my question to you is, how do you respond when your body is telling you you need to slow down? When your body is telling you you need to sit down somewhere, do you listen and do it? Or do you go and push through it anyway? There are times I push through it anyway, but I'm learning more and more to say, hey, okay, I don't have the capacity to do that. It does not have to be done right now or like this. So I can let that go to be done later. And I'm going to do it later. I'm going to go to HEB another day. So again, ask yourself, get your pen out. Oh, I can't find my cute pen. But get your pen out, guys. And ask yourself, when are you saying no to your needs? When are you overriding your needs and saying, hey, everything else matters? Ask yourself when you're doing that, write it down. Pause this episode and write down how many times you tell yourself no. I don't need that. Or I'll be okay. Ask yourself when you do that. And also make note of how often you do it. Because, of course, I'm going to challenge you to say to yourself, whatever that thing is that you say no to yourself most often, work on learning how to say yes to yourself, at least once a day or once a week, saying, yes, I'm going to say yes instead of telling myself no. I'm going to say yes to resting. I'm going to say yes to, oh, I'll do that later. It doesn't have to be done right in this very moment because it's causing me anxiety, because it's causing me to go deeper into mom burnout. And know that part of self-care is listening to yourself. That's what I've been talking about this whole time, is you listening to yourself and saying, okay, wait a minute, I'm overwhelmed right now. I do not need to add more onto my plate. Some of this can be done a different way. Somebody else can do it, or I can do it later. So listening to your body, that means listening to your thoughts, your emotions, what you believe, and listening to the feelings in your body. I've talked about how we feel things in our body. I just did an interview with Lisa and we were talking about forgiveness. And I said, my goodness, she has a Bible study and it's, I can't remember the whole title, but it ends with discarded daughter. And I said, oh my gosh. I said, because I was recently processing the fact that I'm still dealing with the rejection from my dad when I was little. And I was given the language of discarded. And I was like, oh my gosh. I said, I could feel it in my throat when I heard that word. So just knowing that, hey, when I get stressed or when you get stressed, maybe you feel it in your throat. Maybe you get a headache. Maybe you have tension in your shoulders. Maybe you feel it in your chest, whatever. Listening to that instead of ignoring it and saying, okay, this is my body saying to me, hey, Cherry, you need to slow down. You need to take a break. You don't have the capacity for this right now. Stop trying to do everything. Like I say, we try to play God and do everything and take a break. Adjust some things. Maybe you can't take a break right in that moment, but adjust some things so you're not under so much stress. So you're able to take maybe even a minute break or some mini breaks throughout your day. So start asking yourself, what do I need today? I know you think about automatically, what do my kids need? I need to do this, this, and this. Start putting yourself on that list, asking yourself, what do I need today? Do I need to do the bare minimum because I'm not feeling well? Yes. Okay. And that's okay. So don't say, okay, I'm going to do the bare minimum because I'm not feeling well and then beat yourself up about it. No, say that's okay. Because, sometimes we're women here. That time of the month, a lot of times if you're listening to your body, you're going to do less. If you exercise a lot, you're going to exercise a little less or not exercise at all because you're going through that cycle during that time of the month. You're listening to your body. So do the same thing, like I said, with your emotions and with your body. And if you feel it in your body, just say, hey, what do I need today? Okay, I'm feeling stressed. So I need to take some time to pray. I need to take some time to walk. I need to do some breathing exercises. Whatever it is you need to do. I need to do something to get out and exercise and have fun and get this stress off of me. Whatever that is. Not what does everybody else need, because we already know that's automatically on your list. That's automatically on your mind. But what do you need? I want to challenge you to start asking yourself, what do I need today? What do I need today? And then, like I talked about in the last episode, showing up for yourself and doing it. And if you need help with starting to practice self-care and making it consistent in your life every day, I would love for you to sign up for my Self-Care for Busy Moms class. In it, I'm going to show you how to intentionally make self-care a priority and how to shift your mindset from you're not worthy to speaking life over yourself. Because a lot of times we don't practice self-care because we don't believe we're worth it. So maybe you try it, but you don't stay consistent because you don't believe that you deserve it. So in this class, I'm going to talk to you about how God sees you, how I see you, so that you can shift your mindset and start believing in yourself and say, hey, this should be a non-negotiable, period, because I deserve the same joy. You deserve the same joy, the same peace, the same nurturing that you give to and you want for your children. God wants that same thing for you. So I'll put that information down in the show notes for you to check it out. But hopefully this episode blessed you. If it did, share it with a mama you love. Subscribe if you haven't, and leave a review as well. Until next time, take care. God bless. Thanks so much for joining me for the Mom Self-Care Podcast. I hope you feel inspired to make yourself a priority too. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Share this podcast with another mama you love and leave a review. Also, feel free to let me know what you would like to hear about in future episodes by visiting me on Instagram at CIC Inspire Me. Until next time, take some time to take care of YOU because you matter too.